Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, station manager for Manatee Educational Television. And on this edition of Up Close, we're very pleased to have with us Sherrod Halliburton, the president of the Manatee Community Federal Credit Union, and a great community leader. Sherrod, thank you so much for being here. I know how busy you are and how involved you are throughout the community, and I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for taking the time to talk to us a little bit about the great success the Community Federal Credit Union has.
Well, thank you, Charles, for having me. And to begin with, I'd like to focus on the mission of Manatee Community Federal Credit Union. And our mission is to strengthen communities, build assets, and improve lives in and around Manatee County by providing access to affordable, high-quality financial products and related services with emphasis on the needs of low-income communities. That's where our focus is.
And that is indeed a much-needed resource in a community, is to reach out to those individuals who perhaps are credit challenged or have poor credit to begin with, but to entitle them to have a good credit history and to build their standing in the community.
Absolutely. And to really explain that, let's kind of walk you through our history. And it starts with 1958. We were founded by Tropicana Products in order to serve its employees exclusively. In 2002, we received a low-income designation from the U.S. Treasury Department. That designation was received because where the credit union is physically located, there's a high percentage of low-income individuals in that community. And so we wanted to take advantage of that designation so that we can provide other benefits to our members. In 2005, we opened up our charter to serve all of Manatee. Why did we choose to do that? For years and years, Tropicana operated independently. It was bought by PepsiCo roughly about 15 years ago. And as a result of that purchase, the 5,000 local employees shrank to 1,000, less than 1,000 actually. And so in order for the credit union to survive, it had to open up its doors to serve the at-large community. Well, the at-large community physically was low-income, moderate-income individuals, and so we built our business model strictly around that. In 2012, we received a designation from the U.S. Treasury Department as a Community Development Financial Institution. What is that? That's a prestigious designation that just basically states that you are a not-for-profit financial institution that focuses on serving those individuals who are outside of the financial mainstream. It comes with significant benefits, including up to potentially $2 million in grants to support our lending directly from the U.S. Treasury. So we're proud to bring that designation to Manatee County.
It was very significant to get that designation.
Absolutely, absolutely. In 2014, we expanded our membership to include participants in poverty elimination program. Our focus is all about how do we build someone's financial capacity. In 2016, we were recognized by Wells Fargo as a finalist in their Next Award. That significant
recognition.
Absolutely. That award recognizes financial institutions across the U.S. that have the most innovative strategies to serve underserved individuals. And there probably was over 100 applicants, and we made it to the final 4. So we're extremely proud of that.
Again, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you very much. We were thrilled with that recognition. In 2016, we launched our Community Network Poverty Elimination Program. What we have figured out is that there are a lot of not-for-profit organizations in and around Manatee throughout the state of Florida who are focusing on serving underserved populations. We have offered ourselves up as a partner for all of those community-based organizations, because without a socially responsible lending partner,
Exactly.
their efforts can only go so far. We don't want to enable people, we want to empower people.
Right.
And that's our strategy.
And I think that's a really significant contribution, that to be working with a wide variety of different organizations to say, listen, our organization is skilled and expert in helping people build their financial equity.
Absolutely. And and my background really lends itself to lead this initiative. I've worked extensively in community development. I've worked extensively in credit. I was in management at Equifax for 5 years, and I've now worked directly in banking for coming up on 5 years, and I've been the president of Manatee Community for 3 years. So I take my credit expertise, I take my community development expertise, I take my finance network, and I pull all these things together and help to lead Manatee Community in a direction that partners with community-based organizations, partners with government agencies in an effort to build a financial capacity of individuals.
And it's the best of all worlds, because you understand the complexity of community development,
Yes.
but also with the complexity of financial management, and bring those both together to kind of a focused emphasis on financial well-being for the constituency that you serve.
I mean, absolutely. Having worked in those different disciplines, I do understand that success comes when we come together.
Right.
And so I have a vantage point that I think is very unique. In having operated at a high level in those very important disciplines, I have a clear understanding of where they intersect. And our strategy is built around where those disciplines intersect.
And which is very important. I hope to get into some of those details as well. But one of the things I'd like for you to take a few moments with, Sherrod, if I may, is to talk us about something about how the Manatee Community Federal Credit Union continues to grow, and some of the initiatives and innovative things that you're doing that shows this tremendous growth and opportunity.
Well, let's start with performance metrics. First and foremost, let's look at our membership. I'll bring your attention to the chart. And looking at the chart, I want to bring your attention to the maroon and the orange lines. Those lines represent credit unions $20 to $50 million. The maroon line is across the U.S. The orange line is across Florida. And we, of course, are the blue line. As you could see, most of the credit unions our size are flat as it relates to their growth. In fact, they're losing about 2% of their membership each year.
It's amazing.
Now, look at the blue line. Over the past 12 months, we've grown our membership well over 20%, and that puts us in the top 10% in the entire country. Let's look at loan growth. Loan growth
Another great indicator.
Fuels the revenue necessary to serve the community that we operate in.
Very much
and
so.
I joined the institution in second quarter 2012,
Right.
and we were pretty much underwater. We were negative 22% loan growth. That means that
Ooh.
we were losing 22% of our loans each year. Well, the industry average is growing at about 2 to 3%. At the end of second quarter 2016, our loan growth was 55%.
That's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. It puts us well into the top 10%, actually puts us in the top 1% in the entire country.
That's really phenomenal, the growth in that short a period of time. And it just shows, the faith and the expertise that the credit union brings to this community.
Absolutely. And that's not just a line. What that means is we're actually getting people who would normally not have access to financial services and to loans, we're getting them access to money.
Right.
And so I'm excited about the line, but the reality is that line means a lot of people who would normally not get loans are getting loans through our institution. We're actually doing very well by doing good deeds.
And that's an important thing. It gives the that community purpose is out there helping people within your community, within our community, grow and prosper.
Absolutely.
Now this is the asset growth that
Yes.
is indicated.
You have to have financial capacity
Correct.
in order to operate as a financial institution. And as you can see, our peers are not growing their assets. And over the last 3 years, we've had a steady growth in assets that extends beyond our peers. So far this year, our asset growth has been phenomenal. And so we started the year with $29 million in assets, and as of today, we're about $38 million in assets. So we've grown our assets 30% so far this year. Our peers are growing their assets 2% in an entire year. So we are proud of the fact that we're outperforming our peers, but we're generating the financial capacity to continue to be able to serve more and more people.
And that shows, you know, a sustainability as you move forward.
Absolutely.
You know that depth and sense of purpose of growing that asset base.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're going to continue to grow, we must grow our assets in order to be able to serve more and more people.
Share growth?
Share growth. Share growth is just about deposits. And as you can see, for about 3 years, we were a little bit above our peers as far as deposits are concerned. Well, now that we have a greater need because we're loaning out more money, we have one of the best, no, actually we have the best CD offer, 2-year CD offer in all of Tampa Bay.
That's wonderful.
1.75%. It blows the market away. And once we made that change, if you look at that blue line, we brought in a lot of deposits.
Well,
so we're catering to all sides of the market. For those affluent people who want to park their money and generate more of a return, we're a wonderful place to go. For those individuals who are outside of the financial mainstream, they need access to money, we're a wonderful place to go.
And I think that's the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
You know, you have a wonderful opportunity for people who want to invest and see a return, but at the same time you're growing, you know, that constituency.
Absolutely. And our strategy is very different than most financial institutions. It kind of comes back to my background being a community development guy, if you will. And so my whole strategy is how do we link to community-based organizations that are out there trying to serve people who have a financial need. Charles, to be quite frank, what we're building here at Manatee Community is what has been missing in all of my work leading up until this point. And that is a socially responsible lending institution that serves as a true partner for community-based organizations.
And if I may, I just want to read a few of these, you know, because the affiliations that you have with both the Faith-Based Alliance and other organizations is extensive. It really represents a kind of a cross-section of the entire community.
Absolutely.
Everything from the Suncoast Community Capital to the Health Department to different nonprofit organizations, the CCRAs, you know, large nonprofits like Goodwill.
Absolutely.
These are important community organizations that having you as a partner just strengthens both.
Yes, and we have a full-time financial empowerment specialist, Tamika Moore. She is incredible. And so she's out there growing these partnerships. So for any community-based organization that is seeking to build the financial capacity of its clients, I welcome you to reach out to our organization, make a phone call, talk to Tamika. She'll come out, meet with your organization, and then we'll see how we can partner and enhance your ability to, again, empower your clients instead of enable your clients.
And you know, that's an excellent thing. You know, Tamika is wonderful working with community organizations to see what is, you know, is their best interest by, you know, showing them the avenues that your organization can help them with.
Absolutely.
An excellent representative for this community.
Well, we're excited to have her on board. My history goes way back with Tamika. I worked with her when she was with the county, so we were thrilled when she was available and interested in coming to work for us.
And I would encourage organizations, you know, other, you know, small nonprofits or small organizations who would have a question about how their financial situation could help their employees and their staff, you know, perhaps, you know, give Tamika a call to see how best they can work together.
Absolutely.
And answer any questions they may have.
Absolutely. Now, what's interesting about our work is I'm involved in some statewide initiatives as well. I sit on the board of Florida Prosperity Partnership, which is a state asset building organization. Well, when they hear about the good work that we're doing down here in Manatee, the first question they have for me is, can we bring our services to their community? And we're in the process of exploring doing just that. How do we do that? We do that with a network of resources that we've brought online. We've just signed a contract with Allpoint ATM Network.
Which is an important partnership.
Absolutely. It gives us over 55,000 free ATMs. We have other multiple ATM networks. So all in all, our members can access over 100,000 free ATMs across the U.S. We've just launched our own mobile app, so our members can bank anytime they want, any way they want. We also have signed a contract for a 24/7 call center that goes online in January. So if you have a customer service concern, you want to apply for a loan, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you can call this number and they can take care of you. And we also belong to a shared branching network, which gives our members access to 5,500 physical locations across the U.S. where they can do business. So with all those things in mind,
so you're taking the combination of technology, outreach, tech, and all these great technical talent, and you're putting it in to better serve your constituents.
Absolutely, we want to serve we want to meet members where they are, serve them in the manner that they feel most comfortable with, but we want to move them toward digital access because that is the future of financial services. And we're in discussion now with Florida Prosperity Partnership. They are entertaining signing on as a partner in our poverty elimination program. And in doing so, it will give all of their 100 plus community-based organizations access to become members of the credit union. So we're thrilled about the possibilities of that.
And that's an important facet too, because you're continuing to serve the main mission of what the credit union is by incorporating all these great tools that are going to be interesting, and innovation and initiatives to do, but it's all focused on that main mission.
Absolutely. The mission is core for us. But we understand, we live in a technology-driven world. And especially in financial services is moving heavily toward technology. And with that in mind, we have been very innovative. And we're in the process of launching our own smartphone app and web application. It's called Credit Connect Daily. And what that will accomplish is it will connect our members to the most requested credit, banking, and financial resources. It also serves as a secure data tracking platform for community-based organizations. Now, Florida Prosperity Partnership last year, through its network of affiliates, they conducted financial education workshops for 20,000 people. I asked a simple question, and that question was, what was the outcome of the workshops that you conducted? And no one could provide me with any outcomes. We're offering those community-based organizations a platform to collect data, credit scores, saving account balances. Does the individual have a checking account? Does the individual have assets? We have the ability to capture all of that information on Credit Connect Daily, and it also serves a very practical purpose for the user. So technology.
Well, again, it's using the technology for a greater good on this.
Absolutely.
Not only for the individual who can have their questions answered, they can track their credit. If they're repairing their credit or they're just starting their credit, they have this smartphone application which is readily available.
Absolutely.
But for organizations, you even go a step further by allowing them to collect that data so they can make informed decisions.
Absolutely. Imagine if you're seeking funding for your organization and you can generate a report that will track the impact of your work over a 6-month period, over a year period, over a 2-year period. Are we moving the needle on people's credit scores? Are we moving the needle on helping people to gain access? In a world with limited resources in which these not-for-profits are fighting for resources, I will guarantee you the organizations that partner with us will stand heads and shoulders above the rest in regards to being able to demonstrate impact of their efforts.
And I think that's a very important thing because, the world is shrinking, the dollars, available dollars are out there. But if you have access to the collection of data that, can really show how your organization is succeeding or providing those services that are necessary, you'll be way ahead of the game.
Absolutely, and we'll be looking at creating revenue streams for those organizations as well.
That's an incredible opportunity.
Well, for us, our whole thing is we want to build the capacity of communities. And so if we're growing our organization based on our relationships with community-based organizations, we want to return part of the revenue that is being generated. So our business model is unique. It, to my knowledge, has not been done before, but we're thrilled about the fact that we're committed to building the capacity of individuals and organizations. Now, Credit Connect Daily, financial life made easy. We want to demystify credit and
I think that's a big
finances.
part of it. I think some people who, have issues with credit or want to establish credit, it's as if it's some kind of, strange maze that they have to negotiate through. But, with these kind of tools at their fingertips, you'll make, and the access to financial experts within the credit union, you help them navigate that process to establish, repair, sustain their credit.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about Credit Connect Daily. It will provide a simple to navigate interface with great user experience, transparent data collection, we talked about that, and it's state-of-the-art, confidential, and secure. The challenge is there's a lot of information out there on the web for credit, a lot of information for financial resources, a lot of information, but you as a consumer has to navigate it. You have to go here, you have to go there. You have to deal with the fact that some of these credit scoring sites are not about credit scores at all. They're about inundating you with predatory credit offers. We take all of that off the table. We take our members and put them in a very controlled environment, and we provide them access to all the information that they need to make informed decisions. Now, easy to join, incorporates a simple sign up that facilitates the creation of a full-fledged personal financial roadmap, connects directly to our online banking platform. So imagine being able to connect to a daily update on your credit score, articles that are pertinent to your financial situation, free financial counseling, and then toggle over to your online banking platform. Easy to join, easy to navigate. We bring everything onto one simple platform.
And I think that's it's a wonderful attribute to have, that it's all combined.
Absolutely.
Because there are things out there, as you mentioned, where people have to go to one source and then someplace else, and it becomes very confusing, and and it's not much return for that investment of time. But with this type of easy application where one can look at ways to repair credit, or things that are targeted for your particular case, perhaps, and then look at your online banking platform all under one roof, it's pretty darn good.
Absolutely. And, what we say is if you commit 10 minutes daily, we will show you how to improve your credit. Now, what's the significance of committing time daily? I want to share a personal story. A year ago, I found myself in the emergency room. My blood pressure was severely elevated. I was in crisis. And I laid on the gurney, and as everyone would do in that situation, I prayed for a good result. And I was fortunate in that I came through that. Now, my takeaway from that was I need to pay attention to my health on a daily basis to avoid crisis. And I've done just that. So now each morning I wake up, I take a walk. I think about what I eat. My consciousness as it relates to my health is daily. It is not waiting for a crisis to decide to do something. 1 year later, paying attention to it on a daily basis, I've lost 35 pounds.
That's phenomenal.
My blood pressure has stabilized. My cholesterol has stabilized. I'm probably in some of the best shape that I've been in a very long time. Now, the relevance of that is I made a commitment on a daily basis.
And I think what you've done here, using that analogy, is perfect. Why wait for the crisis?
Absolutely.
To try to solve something?
Absolutely.
Why wait for that bank account to be depleted, or why wait for that credit history to be so low that you're underwater before you do something? And I love the innovation of applying 10 minutes a day to see how best you can improve. that is a critical type of thing. And everybody, it's like taking that walk that, and by the way, you do look terrific.
Thank you.
But you know, it's the equivalent of taking that 10-minute walk or
Absolutely.
the 15-minute walk. It's the daily effort
It's the daily effort.
that makes a difference.
And what we do is we make it easy for you. We create daily, weekly, monthly alerts. We tell you when it's time for you to check your credit score. We tell you when it's time to check your budget. We tell you when it's a good time to read an article. We tell you when it's a good time to check out a webinar or to check out a podcast. We create these alerts for you, and you have the ability to adjust those alerts. But in the event that you forget, you get a text message or you get an email. So we create your own personal roadmap, which keeps you on track. And I guarantee you, if you make that daily commitment of time, you won't be like me in a crisis situation. You won't be like those members who come into our branch and they have an extreme financial need, but they haven't taken the daily concern as regards to their financial situation, and so they're in crisis. So we want to show you how to avoid crisis. Very clearly, it's not about how much money you have, it's about how much money you have access to.
Well, and one of the things too, if I may say so, is all of these efforts and you know, this, not only from the technology point of view, from a philosophical point of view as well, is, you know, customer driven.
Yes.
How best is the Manatee Community Federal Credit Union, how best can we serve you?
Absolutely.
And I think that's an incredible gift to have for organizations large and small, to have that kind of personal connection with we want you to succeed.
Absolutely. And just to give you a little more information about what Credit Connect Daily looks like, we're talking about 3 distinct modules. The first module focuses on your credit score. Imagine receiving a daily update for your credit score and an analysis of that credit score. So you can see the different categories: payment history, credit usage, credit age, recent credit, all those things that make up your credit score. Credit Connect Daily will analyze each of those categories for you and will provide you with tips on what you could do to improve any of those categories.
I think that's a great thing. So people at a glance, will be able to say, hey, listen, I need to work on this.
Absolutely.
I've done well in this category.
Absolutely.
But you know, I need a little bit more work, you know, to bring this up.
Absolutely.
And I think that's nice for people to have that at their fingertips so they can make informed decisions.
Yes, and also it tracks your credit score on a daily basis, and it will give you a rating as to whether your credit score has gone up for the month or gone down for the month. So you'll see a direct reaction to your credit and financial choices. You'll be able to see the impact of that, which we hope will lead to people making better financial choices. And it also connects you to the credit union in which we populate offers based on your credit score and based on your goals and objectives. So if you are someone who has informed us that you want to reduce your monthly outlay, one of the things you'll be able to do through Credit Connect is we will look at any loans that you have outstanding and see if we can transfer those loans back to the credit union and save you money.
That's a great idea.
If you have identified that you need to grow your credit score, we will point you to the products at the credit union that will help you grow your credit score. You don't have to get on the phone and call anyone. You don't have to figure it out on your own. All you have to do is log into Credit Connect Daily, go to that module, and there it is.
What an excellent idea. Credit cleanup.
The second part is just all about understanding your financial health. It's important for you to understand your revolving debt ratio. So imagine having a tool that will analyze that for you and will tell you whether you're healthy or not. And that same tool will allow you to look at what your finances might look like if you paid down one of your loans early.
And what to work on. You know, if you're looking at this at a glance and decides that one of these categories is way out of proportion to what it should be, you can look at that and try to, you know, in some way mitigate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also the next area is you need to understand your debt to income ratio, because any financial institution that you apply for a loan through is going to make a decision based on your debt to income ratio.
Right.
It's going to tell you whether you're healthy if you're in the green. It's going to tell you whether you're not healthy in the red. And if you're not healthy, you have the ability to learn how to fix it. That's simple as clicking on the button, and it will
What
connect
steps
you
do I need to
our
take?
financial counseling service. And they
Perfect.
can walk you through what steps you need to take. One of the other benefits of Credit Connect Daily is that it will populate a budget for you. So when you enroll, it'll ask you about your income, it'll ask you about your debts, and it'll populate a budget. And it will tell you if you're in range, proper range, for any of the categories that you spend money on. It'll tell you if you're spending too much money on housing. It'll tell you if you're spending too much money on transportation.
That's an excellent
It'll tell you if you're spending too much money on credit cards.
And I think that's an important thing to do, is be able to know that in an analytical way, that you can look at that and say, hey, you know, I need to make some changes or some adjustments.
Absolutely. And it's simple as pushing a button, and you can have a formal budget that is printed out that you can follow. So what we're committed to doing is giving you tools. Now, the third module is all this wealth of financial resources that we have at your fingertips. Webinars, podcasts, articles specific to things that you find interesting. Imagine having it customized to where you tell us how frequently you want certain information. And you tell us how you want that information. You want articles sent to you on a weekly basis. You want them sent to your text message, daily basis. All of that can be customized. We create a roadmap for you, but you have the ability to adjust that roadmap. And so we make all these services available. And free financial counseling.
Well, I think
crisis-based financial counseling.
Yeah, but long term.
Absolutely.
Daily financial, you know, with a credit counselor, or you know, somebody to talk about debt consolidation.
Talk about what you're going to do with those student loans.
All of those things.
All of those things, and we pay for the service, and we provide that service to our members through Credit Connect Daily. Again, make the commitment on a daily basis.
Again, very important.
And we also have a series of educational videos. Some are third-party videos. Some are videos that we're developing in-house. And we anticipate dealing with all the various aspects of finances and credit. And make very simple 3-4 minute videos available to answer any question or issue you might have. And I mentioned earlier just significant financial resources at your disposal, articles and things of that nature. But the most exciting thing, or one of the most exciting things about this whole thing, is it connects directly to your online banking. So you don't have to go into Credit Connect Daily and then log out and then log into your online banking platform. There will be tabs through our
you can
Credit Connect
you
Daily.
can toggle between the two.
Absolutely. Hit a tab and it'll take you to module 1. Hit a tab, it'll take you to credit checkup. Hit a tab and it'll take you back to the online banking platform.
There's an efficiency to it.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point. We recognize that if this becomes difficult and complicated, no one will use it. So we create a very user-friendly interface. And we are capitalizing on the fact that there's an explosion in use of smartphones.
Absolutely.
But we want to advocate and promote the use of smartphones in a manner that's going to build your financial capacity, not walk off a cliff doing Pokemon, you know. So,
well, you know, I think that's good. Again, focus on the mission, focus on the customer. Those are the key issues that you know, not only drive you personally, but also the mission of the credit union.
Absolutely.
And I think that's an important facet. I think the idea of you using the smartphone technology for at your fingertips capability is a wonderful opportunity for people. You know, 1 in 3 households now have smartphones, and I'm sure that's going to increase.
Oh, it's absolutely increasing. I mean, with our demographic, 60% of our members use smartphones. A lot of our membership use smartphones, and they don't even have computers at home. So we wanted to design Credit Connect Daily to be able to be accessed by those individuals. But for those people who feel more comfortable doing these things on a tablet or on a desktop computer, we do have a web-based version of it as well. And again,
Smartphone use.
Individuals use smartphones for so many different reasons. We want them to start using smartphones to manage their financial services. So imagine, people make choices on what financial institution they will use based on what's open when they get off from work.
Right.
So if you're someone that gets off from work at 10 o'clock at night, you may choose not to go to a mainstream financial institution. You're going to the check cashing place because they're available. What if you simply had that check automatically deposited, and you're able to go to your smartphone, move money around, go to an ATM, get your money out? We want to educate and inform people on how they can use technology to make their lives easier.
And not only that, it's such an efficient and effective way of having access. It's immediate.
Yes.
And those are some great things. Now, we want to talk a little bit about the future here. You know, mobile banking is going to be the way of the future.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely, you know, it's quick, it's efficient, it's secure.
Absolutely.
And people can feel confident about using it. But why do you want to continue to have that kind of emphasis on mobile banking?
Well, you know, we've made a commitment to invest in technology as opposed to investing in brick and mortar. It costs a lot of money to build multiple branches. So our strategy is to invest in technology. I view technology in banking like an education is for an inner city kid. It's the equalizer coming from an inner city kid, okay? So our investment in technology is staying ahead of where the industry trends are. All of our research speaks to more and more people taking pictures of their check with their phone. You know, more and more people moving money around through online banking, mobile apps, things of that nature. We want to get out in front of that trend. We want to, through our community partners, educate our members about how important it is for them to embrace those trends. Whether you like technology or not, technology is here to stay.
And I think you nailed it right on the head. How best to use that technology to make people's lives easier, better, and more productive.
Absolutely.
Now, Sherrod, unfortunately, we're running out of time here, and we have a few minutes left. But I want you to take a few minutes, if you could, to talk about the importance of the credit union to a community at large. You know, you've seen the growth, which is phenomenal. You've seen the innovation, which is unique, and I would suggest to you that the Manatee Community Federal Credit Union is not only a model for this entire area, it could very easily be a model for a national model because it has those unique perspectives of customer service, customer driven, but at the same time with innovation, technology, and initiatives, and helping those individuals who are credit challenged and need all of the kind of guidance and assistance that you can provide.
Absolutely. Well, it's really interesting, Charles. We're going to have a event that I'm just thrilled about. Tamika's been working on. It's our first annual Christmas classic movie on the Riverwalk.
Oh, wonderful.
And the movie we're going to show is It's a Wonderful Life.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Love Jimmy Stewart.
Classic movie.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, that movie speaks to the impact that a socially responsible lending institution can have on a community. Well, I'm this inner city kid that fell in love with this movie 40 years ago.
Right.
And I find myself running a financial institution using that as a model. My commitment is to position this institution to be a true resource for individuals, for organizations, and for the at-large community. If we are successful in that effort, we're getting people access to the much-needed financial services, we're growing their credit scores, we're putting them in cars, we're helping to prepare them for home ownership, and we are reinvesting in the community organizations that serve those individuals. The more support we get from the community, the more support we can return to the community. We're the only credit union chartered in Manatee County. What if this community embraced us as their credit union? And through that, we were able to grow substantially and reinvest our profits back into this community, not outside this community.
It's the mark of a really great organization, is to take your profits and reinvest it back into the thing so you can provide more and better service.
Absolutely.
And I think that's unique. You know, unfortunately, Sherrod, I'd love to carry this conversation on.
We're done?
But we've run out of time. But we do want to invite you back, perhaps, you know, where you could have a panel of people to talk about the importance of credit union within a community and how best other organizations can assist you as you follow that vision of empowering a community, you know, so they are economically empowered.
Absolutely. And we're more than just a credit union. We're a CDFI. And it's almost like a credit union on steroids. And our commitment is to the people of this community, the organizations in this community, the institutions in this community.
Very much so. And, you know, I must say, you know, you're very humble in your opinion. You've done so much for the community. You're always there for organizations to work with. You're a leader in this community. You've been selected for Leadership Florida, which is a unique honor, a designate. I think you were the only person in Manatee.
Actually, I found out there's one other. So there's two of us.
Well, there's you and somebody else. But a significant honor. But you are truly a community leader. People, you know, seek your guidance and your input. And what you've done with the Community Federal Credit Union has been significant. You've brought innovation, initiatives, growth, and also a sense of empowerment to all of the individuals that you continue to serve. And for that, you're to be not only commended, but also you're to be recognized for that contribution that you continue to make.
Well, thank you very much, Charles.
And we welcome you back, Sherrod, to talk more about this, because I think you hit the nail right on the head when you're talking about financial empowerment is the keystone, you know, to economic drivers that help a community.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we'll welcome you to have back. And bring that Miss Tamika Moore with you next time.
I will.
Because she's a wonderful individual and does a lot in this community as well. And we'll look forward to that It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, absolutely.
Sherrod, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Charles.
And thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV.